Channel 9 News with Kyler Lovelace and Jeremy Crishley.
We are down here in New York where a top computer hacker who helped investigators disrupt at least 300 cyber attacks on targets ranging from the U.S. Armed Forces and Congress to a TV network and a video game maker was spared additional prison time Tuesday after prosecutors argued for leniency. Is there anything you would like to say?
I'm not really quite sure. Well, what I do know is I confess cyber attacks as a former member of a anonymous and low-sec hacking collectives.
Will you be facing any jail time?
Well, not as bad as it should be. I should be facing like 26 years, but I was imposed of a term of 7 months in jail, which is equal to the amount that I already served, which means I was free man after my sentence hearing in Manhattan. I apologized in court saying that I will never be a criminal offender again.
Why are you only facing 7 months?
I argue with federal prosecutors for a lesser punishment since I'm extremely valuable and productive cooperator who's helped them lead to the arrest and conviction of 8 co-conspirators.
And why is it that you're considered so valuable?
My assistance proved to be invaluable to the federal investigators. I was a trusted member of the hacking groups involved in numerous hacking episodes. I was also known for analyzing computer codes for vulnerabilities that could be exploited.
And what did your actions do?
My cooperations, cyber attackers and I, prevented at least millions of dollars in loss to the victims.
Would you consider yourself lucky?
I would say that I'm pretty lucky. My assistant, Jeremy, who was the FBI's most wanted cybercrime target, guilty and was sentenced to 120 months in jail.
Wow, talk about lucky. Since you went against the government, would you consider yourself a traitor?
Nah, I don't consider myself to be a traitor. I wasn't with the government at the time, so I don't really see how I could be. On Twitter though, there's a anonymous page that has a bunch of posts that calls me a traitor.
Tensions remain high today in the Ukraine as voters gathered at their local voting polls. Today, citizens in the Ukraine headed out to vote for their new president. Ukraine has been on the verge of a civil war for quite some time now, and most people are hoping that a new president and possibly a new government can help prevent any further conflict. There has been 2 sides to this raging clash, one of which being the Ukraine supporters. Pro-Ukraine protesters have been biting at the heels of their government for months now. These protesters are in favor of strengthening ties with the European Union. Protests erupted when the ex-president decided not to sign a deal that would partner with the Ukraine with the neighboring European Union. It took almost no time for pro-Ukraine protesters to occupy the streets of Ukraine's capital city, Kiev. Protesters were met by opposing police aggression, which resulted in the bloodiest day of the revolution. 70 Ukraine protesters were shot and killed by police aggressors yielding AK-47s and sniper rifles during the explosive fight. 2 days later, protesters were in complete control of the Parliament building with no police or president to be found. These protesters strongly believe their government to be nothing but thieves and crooks. They are the biggest advocates of today's presidential election. On the other side of the unrest are pro-Russian citizens and forces. These pro-Russian civilians mainly reside in the eastern part of Ukraine. World controversy erupted when cries for help by the pro-Russian citizens were met by thousands of Russian troops in Crimea earlier this year. Putin says these troops were sent to protect Russian people who live there against Ukrainian government discretion. Crimea voted to join Russia. Western countries saw this act as an aggressive takeover of Ukraine's Crimea. Crimea was signed as a Russian territory by Putin on March 18th. The battle rages as plenty of Russian supporters still litter the eastern part of the Ukraine. These supporters feel so strongly about the motherland that they do not even acknowledge the Ukraine's existence, calling it New Russia. These pro-Russians oppose the election being held today in the Ukraine, and most will not even take part. Let's take it to our anchor on the go, who is reporting live in the Ukraine.
Thanks, Kyler. I just arrived here in Donetsk, Ukraine, where voting is being held. Just a few hours ago, I was in the town of Karlovka, where a checkpoint was attacked by pro-Russian separatists. These separatists were sent to inflict fear to stop any voting for the new president today. There still lay dead bodies on the street as I walked through this morning. Few Ukrainian battalion members escaped without any damage. Where I stand in Donetsk, it is a much different story. Here behind me, you can see the ballot boxes, but those aren't ballots inside. That is trash. Pro-Russians quite literally turned these ballot boxes to trash cans. Earlier today, this was the site of a pro-Russian rally. Speakers were trying to motivate the people by saying they are tired of living like slaves and basically just discrediting any sort of Ukraine government. Volunteer Russian fighters were greeted like heroes at the rally. They said they had come from Russia to protect their fellow Russian people and the country. The crowd came equipped with gifts for the Russian fighters, giving them things from water to flowers. I even saw Russian ralliers handing the fighters straight monetary cash. Women participating in the rally were crying with joy at the sight of their Russian protectors. The people in the rally claim absolutely no connection to the elections that were held today. Back to you, Kyler.
Voters have been tallied, and the Ukraine has voted on runner Petro Poroshenko as their new president. Poroshenko promises a vote on a new parliament in the near future.
Покатаєш?
На край світу.
А бензину вистачить?
Повний бак.
Дуже хочеться водички напитись. А, дівчата?
Зараз. Коли ж додому?
А ми і так дома. Ввечері в клубі. Після роботи.
Якої роботи?
Звичайної. Контракт.
Який контракт? Шлюбний чи що? Військовий. Поки що.
Дівчата! 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 А покататися!
Бабу Маню катай! Катайте!
Час нових героїв. Служба за контрактом у Збройних силах України.
More and more people in America today are trying marijuana. Although marijuana is linked to 0 deaths, it is still illegal in most states. It's legal in Colorado, Washington, Maine, Alaska, California, Connecticut, the District of Columbia, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Vermont. The legalizing marijuana epidemic is storming the country. Let's go to Jeremy at the scene of a kid who smokes marijuana.
So you think you're cool because you smoke marijuana. Marijuana isn't the cool thing to do, you know. It's a drug, and you should stay away from it unless you're using it for medicinal purposes. Why do you smoke it? What can possibly be so cool about this drug?
Oh man, all the kids are doing, man. Like, if I don't follow them, I'll be the odd one out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be like Wiz Khalifa, man.
You want to be like Wiz Khalifa? Do you understand that marijuana has health risks?
Then why is it legalized in Colorado, man?
Because they can be used as a medicine. Colorado is known for their medicinal marijuana practice. It can be kind of dangerous, though.
So what you're trying to say is people just don't smoke to be cool? Like Wiz?
No, marijuana has health benefits, like helping to stop the spread of cancer and gives chemotherapy patients an appetite because they are so sick they can't eat. So they need the marijuana to give them their appetite.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I only thought it because of peer pressure, you know what I mean? People were always asking me to get high with that. I finally just gave in.
I see. How many of your friends are also in the habit of smoking marijuana?
A ton of my friends, man. Not all of them, just most of them.
Really? Wow. I think it's time for you to start searching for a new group of friends.
It's just not my group of friends. Tons of kids, yo. Do it, like, every day. But they definitely don't do it for medical purposes, man. They just do it to get stoned.
So you're telling me that marijuana is spreading to more and more kids every day?
I would say so, man.
Well, there you have it. Marijuana is spreading to children more and more every single day. Back to you, Kyler.
It's a sad day in the small town of Clark Summit today. Locally owned family business, Don's Market, is shutting its doors for the last time today. We bring it to our local anchor on the road for more information.
Thanks, Kyler. I'm here on Manola Road in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, at Don's Market. People came far and wide to mourn the closing of the small town business. Don's Market was built and established in 1945. This family-owned general store was famous for its penny candy, specialty butcher services, hoagies, ciggies, and 5-cent sodas. Don's Market was a good example of a suburban grocery store. I'm here with Evan. How do you feel about the closing of Don's Market, Evan?
Well, I'm kind of pissed off. They took out the 5-cent sodies, so now I got to go all the way down to Dixon City to get a soda.
That's unfortunate. I talked to some of the neighborhood people around Clark Summit to see how they felt about the closing of Don's Market. How do you feel about the closing of Don's Market?
Well, actually, it's pretty sad. He was a nice guy and everything, and it was always nice to all the kids. I know when I was like 5 years old, like, he used to give me free candy all the time. But now, since it's closed, I can't get a 5-cent soda or even a hoagie. Like, I know it was pretty moldy and everything, but it was good.
You can't get that type of service at Walmart.
Superstores have been shutting the doors of these businesses for years. One example is Bunnell's Hardware in Clark Summit, which was shut down due to lack of business because of Ace Hardware, which came in and stole all of its business.
Hello?
Playing Black Ops yet?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I got it at Walmart at midnight.
Me too.
Yeah, I just stole a Russian Hind attack chopper. It's awesome.
You couldn't steal the hindquarters of a Russian donkey.
Yeah, well, you better get ready because I've got a ridiculous cache of weapons. An explosive tip crossbow.
You have a ridiculous cache of personal flaws.
A ballistic knives. Get ready for them.
I always thought you were more of a butter knife guy.
Oh, sweet. I just took out a T-55 tank battalion. Only thing you're taking out
is the most desperate girl in town.
How is your sister doing? That's clever.
I'm in Cuba. I'm
ziplining through a jungle. Look, you think you can compete with me? You better call for backup, because I'm not going alive. Step out of the vehicle. Don't need any backup?
Not interested in taking you alive.
Now I'm gonna make it rain with my chain gun. It's called a death machine, my man. Out of the vehicle.
Somehow I doubt that.
Spread your legs. You have no idea what you're up against. I will not be taken lightly.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Bazookistan, hanging off an ice wall. It's a really tough part of the level here. But don't worry, I've got enough artillery to take care of all of it. Ow, Joe! Ouch! Come on!
Is your girlfriend over?
No, I'm taking you out right now. Let's go. Your problem is I don't respect you because I've played you, man, and you got nothing on me. I'm infiltrating a corrupt ring of cops in Uzbekistan. I'm going deep undercover, so you might not hear from me for a few days.
Nick? Nick, you there? Hello?